Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Despicable Me, the best of the worst comments, or, maybe just the worst of the worst comments, depending on how you look at it. I usually get a whole slew of these things around the holidays as my special holidays in New Year's greetings. Everybody piles in, and particularly the anti-Semites for some reason. Well, I guess they come out around Christmas time. I don't know. But this is nothing to do with that. This is just plain sheer lunacy. And those are the most fun, aren't they? Brief, to the point, and utterly crazy and insane. I just adore this comment. It was about my video, my repertoire video on the Verdi Requiem, which I thought was pretty uncontroversial. And there was a very nice discussion afterwards, and it was really pretty straightforward. But of course, when you talk about choral music like that, and especially Verdi, you get the opera loonies. And the opera loonies are just a whacked out, vicious bunch of cretins. They're very special. They really are. I mean, we've all lived with them if we've been in the classical music business. And normally they sort of stay away from me because I'm not an opera person. And I don't hang out in like opera chat rooms and refer to all the, lady sopranos by their first names. Kiri and Jessie and Maria and Joan and Renata, that wasn't my thing. Never was. So I've been kind of, emerged largely unscathed. But every so often I talk about something by an operatic composer and, somebody leaves the cat door unlocked and one of them crawls in. And this is one of them. His name is Max Rossi, Maxrossi, 7358. If that's his real name, I have no idea. But he took the time to write the following about my Verdi Requiem repertoire video. Mr. Hurwitz, I think you understand nothing about music. You didn't mention the absolute best, Sabata's performance at La Scala. This makes me seriously doubt your supposed critical and judgmental abilities and skills. But what can you expect from someone who eats chicken and fried shit every day? Well, I don't eat chicken every day, and I don't eat fried food, let's call it, every day. I like them. It really is kind of fascinating to me. I mean, it starts with, let's just take this apart because it's only like 3 sentences. But in that 3 sentences, it runs the gamut, from a musical observation to complete wackadoodledom. So on the wackadoodle side, first of all, what's wrong with chicken? How does that impair your musical judgment? I have never in my life, and I've been around, heard anyone maintain that an excess of chicken impairs your musical faculties. I know many, many, many great artists who ate a heck of a lot of chicken, and they did just fine. I'm sure Martha Argerich eats chicken. Leonard Bernstein ate chicken. I'll bet Victor de Sabata ate chicken pretty regularly. So that makes no sense. And fried food. Oh, my God, we all love fried food. I mean, anybody, frankly, who has an issue with fried food needs their head examined. It's just one of the most marvelous categories of food in existence is fried stuff. Is it the best for you? Maybe not. It could clog your arteries, but I haven't noticed that having any major effect on anyone's musical faculties either. A French fry is not going to, prevent the way you hear A major. I don't know. I don't understand exactly what he's getting at here, but there you go. That's a wonderful rhetorical question. What can you expect from someone who eats chicken and fried shit every day? Well, there you go. I don't know what you can expect from them. Certainly not a version for Victor de Sabata, but let's talk about the Victor de Sabata Verdi Requiem for a moment. It wasn't there. It wasn't there because I generally don't deal with recordings that are either very, very difficult to source or historical when there are dozens and dozens of fabulous sounding modern recordings available. That's just me. I don't think that reflects poorly on my understanding of music. In fact, I think it reflects on the fact that I understand something about music, which is that most people want great performances and great sound. There are niche audiences, a minority of people who want great performances and crappy sound, or who don't care about crappy sound. We all know that. I care. I care about crappy sound. I care about sound deeply. I'm not an audiophile, but I think sonics are really important, and they're really important in thrilling large choral works. And Victor de Sabata was an important conductor, a minor figure in the history of conducting of 20th century music. He made very few recordings. That's why he was a minor figure. He was a conductor of extraordinary standards and of an austerity that apparently even made Toscanini nervous. But was he all that important? No. He's famous for having conducted the Talus Tosca. Yeah, that's my musical judgment there, right there. No, the Callas Tosca with Victor de Sabata is famous because he conducts it fabulously, but then lots of people conduct Tosca fabulously. I mean, people go, ooh, Victor de Sabata is conducting. I've yet to hear anyone say what about Victor de Sabata's conducting, and that recording is so extraordinary, other than that it's very good conducting, which it certainly is. And I've heard every single recording of his that I've been able to get my hands on, studio recordings and otherwise. And frankly, I haven't found any of them to be so astonishingly amazing as to, be jaw-droppingly fabulous. And that's typical, actually, in the classical music universe. You find some poor, hapless lemmings, such as this person, and they just sit there and say, oh, it's the greatest. It's the greatest. It's the greatest. But they never explain why, and they can't explain why, because there's no reason why. And especially when it comes to pieces that are just as reliant on excellent choral contributions and fabulous soloists. I mean, the conductor doesn't get credit for any of that, and doesn't deserve credit for any of that. So I think that we've about exhausted this topic, but I thought that was a particularly amusing bit of, raving lunacy that I just had to share with you. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.